This is the Cosmos palette. This is more so inspired by like space and the galaxy, and I love that for them. So we're gonna dive into it. We're gonna do swatches. I'm gonna do an eye look with this palette, and we're gonna see if this is worth the money or not. This is what the palette looks like. I like how sleek this packaging is, but I feel like they could have done so much more with the design of this, given like this is a space, you know, galaxy inspired palette. I feel like this could have just been done so much better. This is what the palette looks like. Having this in person, it doesn't look as deep as I thought it was. Now, I don't know how this is gonna look on the eyes, but the one thing that really drew me to this palette was these shimmers. I just wanna show you some arm swatches up close and personal of this palette, and really wanted you to see it with my phone camera with the flash on, so you can really see the shifts in these colors. And oh my gosh, are they beautiful? They all swatched so beautifully on the arm. I love that I can actually see the colors, like really see them. They're stunning, and honestly, I'm very impressed with how this palette swatched. I kind of have an eye look in mind, like what I want to do. I just want to play around with it. I'm going to take this shade called Dark Matter. I'm going to take this little film off the mirror. I'm thinking what I want to do is I kind of want to sketch out a shape with this. I feel like I don't have much like lid space to go with. I was gonna do two looks, but I really want to do this look on both eyes. When I first saw this palette, I was like, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it for the first look. Now with the other palettes that ABH came out with that are newer, I feel like this is probably one of the deepest shades that they've included in their palettes. I really wasn't the biggest fan of the Novu palette. I just feel like that was, I don't know, a lot of the shades, like way too many of the shades leaned a little bit too ashy. The second one, which was like the first one was Primrose, which was my absolute favorite one. I love the Primrose palette so much. And then we had the Rose Metals, or I think it's called Rose Metals. That one was pretty good. But I feel like I'm going to gravitate to this one more. So I'm doing something like galaxy inspired. Let me take another brush. I'm going to take this shade right here called Eclipse to blend out that first shade that I put down. Now this one's really light, but I feel like these two will go really well to blend each other out, which I am very right about it. Like it's subtle, but like you can definitely tell that these two just complement each other so well. With the same brush, I'm going to tap into the shade Comet, which is right next to it. And I'm just going to use this on the brow bone right here. Just right here, so we can kind of add a little bit more contrast to this. Yeah, that looks good. I think I'll go ahead and take some here in the front as well. That's pretty. I like this so far. I feel like it kind of really softened up this look, which I'm not mad at. Now, I do have to kind of carve out this eye look with P. Louise base because I need it to be sharp, if that makes sense. Like I need the look to be sharp. So I'm just gonna use this to kind of carve out this look. This is exactly what I had in mind. Like literally this is exactly what I had in mind. This looks so good. Now I feel like this is about to be the fun part, which is playing with the shimmers. So there's so many beautiful shimmers that I can use. Like they have this one. Oh, that has to go on the eyes. I have to use that one. Then we have this really pretty like blue one. A lot of these are more like iridescent kind of shades. And then we have this really beautiful pink, which I also like. Ooh, that's hard. I'm gonna take some of this like duochrome shade. I don't know how to say it, but I'm gonna take some of this shade and let's see about putting it. Oh my goodness. That is insane. Are you joking? That is insane. And they're so reflective. I'm just gonna use the finger to put this down. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. Now, I feel like a lot of these shades in here are not everyday. This is not an everyday palette. Like, none of these shimmers seem pretty, like, subtle, you know? They don't seem really subtle. Now I'm going to take some of the blue, which is called Super Cluster, just this beautiful blue in here, and I'm going to place this right next to it. They kind of look very similar, like very similar. I don't know. The fact that those two shimmers look really similar on the eyes and there's only 12 shades in this, I'm kind of like, you could have gave us something a little bit different because there's only 12 shades in here. So that is something to note. I feel like I need to play around with this shade called Galaxy. It is so pretty. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I want to play with it. I think it's so pretty. Like, is it going to mess up the look? I'm going to take some of Galaxy and pop Galaxy right on the edge. I feel like that kind of like messes up the vibe a little bit. Oh, but it's so pretty. Ooh, did that just like take this look to the next level? I feel like that kind of just added the contrast that I wanted for this look. Wow. That is pretty. I actually really like that. But you know what would make this look 1,000 times better? Some like silver, maybe, kind of like graphic liner moment? Or should I leave it alone? You know me. You know I love my graphic liner, but oh gosh, this is so pretty. I really like this. I feel like everything is so reflective and gorgeous. Aside from those two shades looking very similar once you put them on the eyes, I want to finish off this look. I'm going to take a little bit of Dark Matter and Galaxy, and I kind of want to just put that on the lower lash. In the waterline, I did go in with the Made by Mitchel All Smudge No Budge Wonderful World liner. Now, let's do this waterline. Let's smoke it out. I'm going to take Galaxy on the outer part of this. It's like a matte with glitter, which I really like. And then I'm going to take Dark Matter and just go along all of the lash. I'm just going to kind of blend in Dark Matter a little bit. This is so pretty. Wow. This is such a different kind of look, but I love it. I love looks like this that are not like your typical everyday look. I just had this look in mind and I feel like the vision literally came to life. So yeah, I even went in with like a sparkly not metallic, but has like glitter all in it. It's the Fenty Diamond Milk Gloss Bomb. I was like, this is perfect for this look. So I'm loving it. Okay, so let's get into my first impression thoughts of the new Cosmo palette from ABH. This is the look that I had in mind since this palette was revealed. I'm not kidding. I literally was like, I know exactly what I want to do with this palette. The look truly came together. Now, do I think this palette is a winner? Yes, it is. I like this palette so much more than Novu, than Rose Metals. This is a really beautiful, different kind of palette. This is not like your everyday typical palette. Those highlighter palettes that were just random colors, but they were like colorful highlighters. That is kind of what this palette is giving me. I feel like this is a palette that is not for everyone, which I totally understand because of the tones in here. I feel like a lot of the shimmers in here are shifty shimmers, but I love that. I love that this palette is so different. I feel like ABH kind of stepped outside of their comfort zone from a lot of the safer palettes, kind of like the last two that we got. I feel like those were a little bit more safer. This one is like, okay, let's be a little bit more creative and give these people something different, and I love that. I feel like I wonder if Norvina had a little bit of say in this palette right here, because it's giving Norvina vibes with the shades that are in here. I'm not kidding, but I really like this palette. The formula is the same, which I love. I love this formula from ABH. The shimmer is still the show. The mattes are so pigmented. Every single matte that I put on my eyes, you can see all the colors. You can see the difference between all of them. I love this palette. I love this look. The only kind of like, you know, criticism that I have about this is that the two shimmers that I use on the lid kind of look similar on the eyes. Like, I can't really tell a difference between the two shimmers. It's subtle, but like I can't really tell. But I really like this palette. If you pick this up, I think you're really gonna like it. It's such a beautiful, beautiful palette. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Definitely let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye. Bye, guys.